Hey guys, how's it going? I'm out here at my parents' house getting ready to deck out a few of their urns for Christmas. So the first couple of them are right here behind me. They flank the entrance of their garden. And then I've got everything that I might possibly need for these arrangements right here, all lined up. So this morning I went out and I cut some of our Limelight Hydrangeas, which were spectacular this year. Look at that. That's one stem. So I cut a bunch of them. And then I've got Redtwig Dogwood here, both Arctic Fire variety, which I had a little bit left over from other projects. And then I've got a few branches of the stuff that Aaron and I gathered up in the hills. Then I've got my tote that follows me around everywhere. So this has all of my extra supplies like the wilt stop, ribbon. I've got apples and oranges that I might use in these urns. And then I have some alder branches. So these I actually gathered from my parents' garden. They've got a big alder tree that has the most beautiful little cones. And I thought that this would be a really fun centerpiece in one of the pots because I use a lot of red twig. So that'd be fun to kind of mix it up a little bit. Then I've got a bunch of greens here. So I've got Magnolia and seeded Eucalyptus that I got from the florist. So there's a Magnolia. Seeded Eucalyptus has got this nice kind of blue look to it and beautiful texture. I've got some sugar pine cones. Check these out. These are glorious pine cones. I love them. And then I've just got a menagerie here. We've got some juniper, some blue spruce. My mom actually cut all the stuff that's right here on the ground out of their garden. And then this is down from the garden center. We've got some cedar. There's some princess pine in here. Just some things to kind of be good fillers. And then I did bring a bag of soil because I am going to be topping off all of the containers. That's what I do first. You want to put some potting soil in there. And the cool thing about using this time of year is that all the stuff that I'm going to be putting in the pots will not be utilizing the nutrients that's in the soil. So in the spring when the soil thaws, you can take all the greens out and then go ahead and plant all your spring annuals. So again, here are the first two urns. Now my mom did go ahead and use some of the grapevines out of their garden and she just twisted them kind of in a wreath shape and placed them here. And I think they're really pretty. And I've been seeing a few arrangements that people have been doing that have this. So I'm just gonna leave them and see kind of what happens. And then the other two containers are right up here by their front door. So we've got another set of urns here. And kitties, you'll see cute little kitties running around. So yeah, I'm going to be putting a little bit more soil in these. And then I think I'm going to be using a lot of hydrangeas up here. So anyway, I think what we're going to do is set up the camera. I'm going to just put all of these together. And then in the end, I'll run through each one of the arrangements and show you how they ended up and what I ended up using. The pots are done and I want to show you what they look like, and they are a little bit different. It's kind of hard to make all of your winter containers look different from each other because we're utilizing a lot of the same elements, but I think bringing in the hydrangeas, and then I did also put a few oranges in here, did make them look quite different than the others. So I started with some Redtwig Dogwood, and then I put in some fir tips, which you can't even see now, but they added some bulk that I needed in these large pots. Then I brought in some Magnolia. There are only 3 stems per pot because I had to try to divvy up all the Magnolia for all 4 pots. I used some blue spruce that was out of my parents' garden. There's some Incense Cedar here, some pine, which is just such a nice draping evergreen. Then you can see my mom's grapevine wreath poking out here. I also used 2 sugar pine cones per container there, and it looks like I did also use, I don't know if this is juniper, this might be the leyland cypress. I'm not sure. It came out of my parents' garden. My mom already had that cut. And so each container looks pretty much the same. I mean, they're not identical because that's really hard to do, but they're very similar. And I think they look good right here to kind of have a bulky design. So let's run in here and I'll show you what the ones by the door look like. These are, I think, one of my favorite ones this whole winter, and I think the reason why is because of these alder branches. Now, I did start with obelisks. My mom has this almost the same obelisks that I have. We have very similar taste, so it's really easy for us to do things for each other, buy gifts for each other, that sort of thing. So I started with that as my base, and then I tucked in some alder branches. So they both have the cones and these little seed pod things. Are these called catkins too? On the anyway, I love how they look. They kind of have a wild look to them. Then I went in with some cedar here, which is a nice drape. The kitties are very friendly around here. Also used some hydrangeas. I think I used 6 per container. And then the other magnolia bunches and some seeded eucalyptus. So you can see it right here. I did not use that in the first set of containers. I just tucked it into these. And then in the very end, just in little like holes I could find, I tucked in a little bit of pine. So this one is a little bit different because it's in a corner, which is actually kind of fun. It's kind of nice to not have to do the entire container. I just needed to make it look really nice from this side right here. So anyway, that's the containers. I did spray them with Wilt Stop when I was done, which I've done with all my winter containers this year. It helps prevent moisture loss. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.